everybody, this is Kay, Beulah Homestead, and today I am going to do something I haven't done before. I'm going to take you on a tour of my morning. So it starts here in the kitchen, and usually I come out here and I got a lot of pain and stuff from previous injuries, so I take something called kratom, which is a natural substance, and it helps me tremendously to get through my day. So I come out here and get a drink or take some kratom, and my priority is the chickens. I need to get out there to the chickens. I see the chickens first, so let's go do that. I should run away because she's just an explorer puppy yet. They're only a little over a year old, and they still like to explore. Most of them have figured out this is home and that's where they're supposed to stay, but not this one. She likes to run and go places she's not supposed to, and since we don't have a perimeter fence yet, I don't feel comfortable letting her run and explore too much. That is my next big project, I think I've said, is a fence across the front, because this road is way, way, way busier than what I ever wanted to live on. But this is where God has put me, so this is where I'm going to plant and grow. I am saving money for a 6-foot privacy fence. You can see here we have a very long line of frontage, you know, on the road of our property. Goes all the way down past that 30 miles per hour sign. This is all of the front of our house. And yeah, I thought this was a nice quiet country road. Gur, down. Down. Come on, puppy. I don't like them anywhere near the road. Come on, puppy. Good boy. I usually don't even come up here when the dogs are out, but as you can see, cars are going by, and they go by fast. Lots of loud, noisy motorcycles, because it's a pretty drive, and really hoped for a pretty country road, but there's another one, and they just keep coming. But that's a constant stream, and when I was looking for a place, I wanted to be tucked away somewhere where no one would find me unless I wanted them to. And why God planted me here, I don't know. I just don't know. I trust Him, and I'm gonna bloom where I'm planted. Like I said, every time those negative thoughts come into my mind about, you know, you don't want this road, you don't want this road, I just praise God and praise Him, Jesus, and tell Him thank you for this property, because I do love this property, and I am so very grateful that God has blessed us with this. It's a lot of work, it's a lot for one person, but I do what I can, and I am not wealthy by any means, so things have to come little by little, and so we'll see what happens. We'll see what God has for us in store in the future. Right now, this is Beulah, this is home. This is beautiful back here. Sun comes up over the ridge over there, it's just gorgeous. This is Beulah, and this is home, and this is where I will bloom and grow. So in the mornings after I get up and have my drink of water and take a little bit of kratom, I don't like synthetic medicines. I take them as very sparingly as possible, if ever. I have a lot of pain, like I said, in my life, and at one point I was on narcotics, and I was drinking alcohol, and I was doing whatever I could do to dull that pain, and God said you need to stop that, and I did. Everything is gone. It's all gone. The only thing I do now is the natural substance. I take care of my body, and I cut out sugar, and I cut out a lot of things. Sugar, processed foods, and I eat as healthy as possible, which is one of the reasons why I'm here. I'm not ashamed to say I have a past. I got caught up in that pharmakia and that pharmacy thing, unfortunately, a long time ago after a car accident, and it just about destroyed my life. So I pray and have sympathy for those who are still in that, because that it's a terrible, terrible way to live. Clouds your mind, clouds your thoughts, makes you make just ridiculously foolish decisions. So I pray for every one of y'all who are caught up in that. Get out of it any way you can. Get out of it. Get out of it. My life is so much better now. So much clearer. So much closer to God. So much better with my family. I'm still dealing with the consequences of my actions from before, but so much better. So much better. At any rate, so I come out, I check the chickens' water and their food, and bring them little treats, some apples or whatever. Get them some grit. They're not laying yet. My hens aren't laying yet. They're a little over 10 weeks, so they should start laying here fairly soon from what I understand. I'm definitely no chicken expert, but then I try to, this is a little bit of a mess right here from the storm, but I'm trying to get wood chips put back here and get this area so that I can grow in it at some point. But it is a little bit of a mess right now. And I guess that's nature living on a farm. Somewhere there's a mess. So I come out here and I try and check on all my trees and everything that's growing every day, because I can. I don't have a whole lot of animals yet, and I can. So this is my Red Delicious apple, and I'm pretty sure that it has a little bit of a fungus, like I've said in the past. So we're going to take care of that. We're going to take care of that fungus. And this is my Bartlett pear over here. And believe me, had I known I have 6 or 8 apple trees on the farm, I might not have bought a new one. I might have bought 2 pears, but at any rate, this is the Bartlett pear. And they both seem to be dealing fairly well with their out-of-pot experience. And so I check on my trees, make sure they're doing okay. I usually water in the evening time, so I kind of adjust, I kind of see, you know, who's going to need water this evening and what's going to, you know, where we're going to be with that. And once a week, once every 2 weeks or so, I will give them some of my worm tea. I've got an explosion of worm tea. My worms are just doing fabulous. This is my area that I'm growing in, so that so I can get that high tunnel. I can get help with the high tunnel, and you can see the sprouts coming up already. There's beans, peas, there'll be onions, garlic, spinach, and I'm so happy they're growing already. Since I didn't go crazy with soil amenders and, you know, all that stuff, I was wondering what we were going to get, but it looks like we're going to get something. Hopefully the guy will be happy enough that he can sign off on it. This part will be the, I ordered onion sets and garlic, and I believe garlic is just God's substance to us. I love garlic. This part will be the onions and the garlic, and then back here on the bigger tarp, I'm going to do a cover crop of barley seed, which I have. We will probably sow that tonight. The ground will probably get tilled up and sown tonight. Our temperatures have moderated a little bit, thank God. They were in the 90s, which is very hot here for Ohio. In Florida, where I'm from, it wasn't so hot. It didn't seem unusual, out of the ordinary, but here in Ohio, that's hot. That's really hot. Sunflowers are waning. I don't know if you can see theirs up there. Those, I don't know how to harvest those, but I believe you just cut them down and let them dry, I think. If anybody knows, let me know. So sunflowers are waning. They were beautiful. My first year ever growing sunflowers, and I think we did a good job. I open up the window here to my greenhouse, and then I come around. I check my my beds, my raised beds. My second planting of potatoes are coming up beautifully. Real happy about that. I replanted both beds with potatoes, and they're starting to come up, so that's good. And I checked this in-ground garden bed, and it has gone bonkers. When I was sick, I wasn't able to weed, and the watermelon and the sweet potatoes and the weeds are all just having a field day out here. So we're just gonna see what happens. These pretty flowers are from the sweet potatoes, and they just have the most gorgeous, beautiful flowers. This is another variety of sweet potato, and please don't ask me which one's which, because I honestly can't remember. So there's two different varieties of sweet potatoes in here, and I got them from Gurney's. I do like Gurney's a lot. I like their stuff. I've had a little bit of trouble with my berry plants that I bought from there this year, but it's probably operator error because the soil probably wasn't right for the berries, and I planted them anyway, and some of them have done well, some of them have not. So I don't know. We may end up buying more next year. We may not. I don't know what the future holds right now. The future's a little up in the air. Here's a little melon growing. Pretty little melon. So I checked my beds. I checked my in-ground garden, and then I come into the greenhouse, which is just, it's a jungle. There's a jungle in here. It's a jungle. And I got some beautiful cucumbers coming up here, and my squash, patty pan squash and zucchini have just taken over. I've harvested quite a bit off of them. My pepper bed is doing okay. I got a couple peppers yet. There's a lot growing. So I don't think this is done for the year. We're just going to let it keep on going and see what happens. I am still getting some zucchini, so I'm going to let that keep growing. But tomatoes here, they're starting to turn. Just starting to turn there. You can see. Just starting. I got another patty pan squash out here, and it's produced pretty well. Lots of tomatoes, lots of tomatoes. The fig is growing. It's putting on new shoots and new growth. The my olive tree is just done fabulous. It is just growing all over the place. It's doing great. So we should have some tomatoes here we can start doing something with. I want to can them. I want to make sauce. I want to make spaghetti sauce. I want to make ketchup. I want to do all these things so that my grandchildren can have fresh from the farm food. I want to be able to fill their plates with Mimi's fresh from the farm food. This tree that fell, we've just about got all the apples off of what fell here. I don't really see, maybe a couple, one or two more. This is beautiful hydrangea that my daughter just loves. When we first got here, it was just crazy. It was just lots of dead and all kinds of, I cut it all back. You can kind of see the stumps there. I cut it back and it grew. I was gonna have the stumps taken out, but the thing grew back. The lilac over here, this lilac over here, I'm gonna do the same thing too this winter, this fall and winter. Cut all this back, all this lilac, so it'll grow nice. These things have been neglected for so long. So that's kind of that. Check on everything, check on the chickens, check on the plants that are growing, make sure everything's doing okay. And then I come over here to where my some of my fruit trees are. I got a cherry tree I planted right away when we got here. I'm trying to do this whole permaculture thing. I'm trying to do it right. So I got my cherry tree that I planted here, and it's looked better, but I'm trying to get the beetles off of it with diatomaceous earth and trying to get the fungus off of it with neem oil, and I've also got some organic spray that's coming to help me with this. These trees over here are just full of fungus. You can see it's just a really bad area, really bad. Obviously I can't cure all these trees of their fungus, but I am gonna try and get mine cured. I got hibiscus everywhere. The previous owner really liked their hibiscus plants, so we got lots and lots and lots of hibiscus. This is my peach, and I'm really pleased. We are getting some new growth here on the peach plant, or peach tree rather. So again, that's going to be hit with the defungus. Put some bird feeders out here. Didn't realize they were like for teeny tiny birds, so I had to modify them a little bit. Put those out here to help with the beetles. And then this is my Hal's Hardy Almond, which came to me as a stick, and it has grown quite well. I had a couple of pecan. I love my pecans. I'm a southern girl. It's pecan, and I love them. Anyway, I had a couple of pecans that I put out here, but they just did not do well. One of them is not going to make it at all. It's just not going to make it. The other one, I've put in some rooting solution, and I'm hoping that that will do the trick and it'll pick up and start going. I got a rain barrel here that I try and collect rain because, to my dismay, and unfortunately, when we lose power, our water pump, our well pump, is tied in with our electricity, which fairly horrified me. I mean, call me what you want. I've been called all kinds of things by those who are supposed to love me. But call me what you may, but I do honestly believe there will be grid down. I don't know for how long, I don't know when. I can't prove it, but I feel in my gut that we are going to be squeezed fairly hard here soon. Food supply, supply chain, electricity, I think all those are going to be an issue soon. And I think that we have to prepare. We have to, and I hate to keep, harping on it, but we have to prepare. I've tried very hard to learn everything I can about medicines that are grown in your garden, and about growing food, and about learning alternative energy sources, and learning how to, I got to get some fireplaces in here, a wood burning stove. These things are all very, very important to me. I have 2 little kids that depend on me, and I'm their daddy, so to speak, and I'm all they got. Their mama and them, I'm all they got, and I need to get this. I need to get this going. That's why you see maybe dishes in the sink, or some overgrown grass, because number one, my health is not the best right now. I'm still getting over that Lyme disease, which takes a long, long time. I'm about 85% better than what I was, but I'm not 100% yet, so I'm still working on that, and I got to take breaks. I just got to, especially when it's so hot out here. My body can't take it. My body can't take it. So I do what I can, and yeah, you might see some overgrown grass or some dishes in the sink, or the floor not exactly mopped and swept like some other places, but I'm alone here basically, and I do what I can. My daughter has her 2 children, and she does what she can, and she helps out a lot, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not trying to sound like poor me, poor me. I'm just letting y'all know that's why there's overgrown grass. So at any rate, we harvested a bunch of apples off of our tree and our neighbor's tree. Neighbor said we could have as much as we wanted. So we harvested a bunch of apples off of our tree and our neighbor's tree. Some of them will go to the chickens. They were already bruised and too bad off to do anything with. Some of them will be apple cider vinegar. Some of them will be apple breads, like I said before, apple bread, apple cider vinegar, apple sauce, apple butter. So yeah, we have an abundant harvest of apples, which then there's still more. There's still a lot more there to get, so I'm pretty happy about that. So I try to not overwhelm my worms, and I try every once in a while to get, usually it's every day, if it's, a good day. Usually it's every day. I'll come out and I will bring a jar or 2 and check on my worms. I got this can of worms. What happens is you have these layers, and this is obviously the food yucky layer. This is where I put most of the scraps, compost, etc. And then you have other layers underneath here. And this is more the worm layer. You can see some in there. And that's, and there's maggots in there and all kinds of nasty stuff. And that's just, they're turning all that waste into beautiful soil, which I have used in it. it has helped a lot. And then underneath this, the worm tea layer. And what happens is these little guys get down here and they drown. So I gotta come and every now and then get my hands dirty and dig them out of there and harvest the tea. Put them back where they're supposed to be and harvest the tea. When I was really sick, right there wiggling all over. When I was sick with the Lyme disease, I was not able to get out here and do this and harvest this tea and take care of the worms and, you know, do what I needed to do. And they died on me. So I try and get out here. Had to buy some more. Try and get out here and get this stuff harvested. And yeah, it's pretty gross. Good thing we don't have smell-o-vision because it's pretty stinky too. At any rate, some women, some men, some, you know, people would think that this is gross and disgusting. And I suppose it is. But it's all about your priorities. You know, what do you want? You want to have good, healthy soil and, you know, raise a lot of food for your family. Sometimes that involves getting your hands a little dirty. Put it back together here. So yeah, sometimes that involves some nasty stuff. And you know what? I'm willing to do that because my family and their future is that important to me. Unfortunately, people who are close to me who have not embraced this lifestyle. That's sad to me. So, but this is what I must do. This is what God has called me to do, and this is what I must do. I must do it. I must get this farm going. I must have a barn. I must have more animals. I must make my own butter and cheese. You know, I want a dairy cow. I'm looking at the Dexters, like Deep South Homestead has, because I don't have a whole lot of property here. So I'm looking at the smaller ones, the Dexters. Maybe a mama dairy cow, and maybe breed her each year, and you know, get some meat and some cheese and milk and whatever. I must do these things. I must. I don't know what the future holds, people. I used to think I did. I used to think I had it all figured out. I really did. We were going to move here. We were going to live happily ever after. We were going to raise a farm, raise the kids, and do all those things. And I don't know anymore. I don't know. I don't know if Beulah Acres is my forever home. I wish that it could be. Minus the road, of course. But, you know what? I just don't know. I just don't know. I'm just going to let God do the leading here. God has to take care of it. God has to lead us where He wants us to be, what He wants us to do. And right now I know this is where I'm at and this is what I have to do. So, anyway, that was a, hope I didn't sound too, poor me. I'm going through some stuff right now, so I don't mean to be poor me. I honestly don't. I'm very blessed. Very, 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 very blessed by God. Very blessed. I've not had it easy in the past. And I'm very blessed. And I want you to know that I know that I'm blessed. It's always a struggle on this side of heaven. And this is a struggle. So, at any rate, okay, Beulah Acres Homestead, y'all take care, and remember that God has a good plan for our lives. He does. He wants us to prosper. Jeremiah 29:11, He wants us to prosper and not be harmed. And I believe that. I live that. So, anyway, y'all take care. See you next time.